why you should be doing incline barbell press for a bigger chest and front delts. All right guys, if you follow this channel for a while or honestly done any mountain dog training program, you know that incline barbell press is gonna be a staple for almost every heavy chest workout, maybe every other. And that's because John and I have both found that this exercise packs on tons of muscle tissue to people. And today I'm gonna go through how we like to use it, how he taught me to use it, and then things that we can do to elevate the exercise to make sure it stays all on your chest and off of your delts and triceps. The original guy who ever talked me into doing incline barbell was a guy that everyone around me referred to as Big Mike. And he was my manager at Abercrombie when I worked there when I was 18, 19 years old. And he kept saying, Chris, like, your chest is horrible. You gotta get off the flat bench. Well, I love the flat bench because I was strong at it. It didn't give me any chest development for me personally and the way I'm set up and structure wise. So he really encouraged me to get off the flat barbell, get my ego cut or hurt, because what I could incline barbell press wasn't close to what I could flat barbell press. And what that ended up doing was help build a foundation of strength. Now, that carried over to when I started working with John. So when I was with Mike, what we thought about is I wanted full range of motion. Back then I was way smaller, so I could get the bar all the way in my chest with no shoulder issue. But what I didn't realize was by going all the way down and touching my collarbones with the bar is that was actually taking tension off of my upper chest and putting it a lot on my front delt. So when I started working with John, he said, hey, we want to stop 2 to 3 inches. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see this. Stop about that far off of my chest. So not only is that gonna be preventative in terms of causing shoulder damage, but that's also going to keep tension on my upper chest and upper chest fibers. So what we want to think about here with this incline barbell press is we want to be in what I consider like a sweet range of motion. Stop short of the chest and not going all the way to lockout to where I'm fully extended straight arm from delt to elbow to wrist. I want to be in this like kind of sweet range. So it's not all the way down, not all the way up. And what that's going to do is just drill my pecs without letting any of the accessory muscles take a brunt of the load. So I know what people are saying, Chris, like, your front delt's still gonna work. Yes, you're exactly right. Your triceps still gonna work. Yes, but I wanna minimize that ratio. So instead of say 33, 33, 33, I wanna take it like 60% chest, 20% front delt, 20% triceps. So if you're looking at that in terms of those ratios, I want those more in those lines as opposed to 33% of chest. Think about how much more development I'm gonna get if I just simply take it to 60 by doing a limited range of motion. So let me sit back here, show you some reps, and talk through what I'm thinking about. I like to take my pinky and put it on the knurling stripe. That's just what feels good to me. From here, I wanna get my feet grounded, glutes pushed into the pad, and my head driving into the back pad. So unrack the bar, get tight. So through here, my lats are tight, my abs are pulled in. Now I wanna lower down, I'm gonna go slow here. Lower right there is what my target spot, and then I wanna press up to there. Not here, here. So sweet range here. This is the money making of incline barbell. Now, if you also notice what I see a lot of people do is they'll actually extend through the front delt. So they're here and then there. You saw how my shoulders went up. That's also what they call in the therapy world as the serratus punch, right? So I'm getting tension off of my chest into my serratus and into my shoulder. So we do not want that. Do not do it. So lower controlled, explode up. Lower controlled, explode up. Now, if you notice again, here, I'm not coming all the way down to my chest. I'm stopping 2 to 3 inches above my collarbone, and then I'm pressing up directly straight up, right short of lockout. All right, so now that you know the form, what I want to think about here is I want to get brutally freaking strong with this. Now, people always say, what does brutally strong mean? Well, that's kind of relative, but at the same time, I kind of have a rule of thumb for all my guys. If you can press on the incline 315 for 6 to 10 reps with 0 spotter, consistently, week after week, I guarantee you'll have an upper chest shelf. Your chest will be thicker, your front delts will be thicker. So I know you're thinking, oh man, well I'm only doing 185 right now. That's fine, we have to work towards 315. When I started working with John, I struggled with 245 for 6 reps, okay? Over the years working with him and building this in week after week, doing the better form and range of motion, I got it up to where I was hitting 365 for sets of 8 to 10 with no spot. So think about that progression, over 100 pounds. Guess what happened? I developed an upper chest shelf. If you think about that, if you just simply add 100 pounds to your incline barbell press right now, you will be shocked at how much more tissue you have in the upper chest shelf region, right? How much your chest bulges out of your shirts or tank tops. So I challenge you right now, get brutally freaking strong with this. Add 100 pounds to it. It's gonna take years, but do it. All right, so next, where do we place this within a workout? And the common knowledge would be, hey, this is a big, heavy hitter exercise. Let's do it first when I have the most strength. Wrong, you're asking for a shoulder injury. Do this second at the earliest in rotation, starting with either a machine press or an incline dumbbell press, then coming here, or even third in rotation, which you'll see me do a lot of times, which I'll do a machine press, a fly, and the cables or pec deck, and then come here. And then I'm still trying to move the exact same loads that I was doing if I'm pressing it second. So I'm getting all that pre-exhaustion and fatigue, but still trying to load as much weight on this bar as possible. The marker for me will always be 315 at this point in my life. So at 38 years old, 315, 6 to 8 reps. If I can't do that third in rotation, I really have to start looking at how much I'm eating, my performance and recovery. So if I can't do that, literally I'm getting worse, and that means my chest is gonna get smaller. So I challenge you, get brutally strong, do this second and third in rotation. Now, let's talk about sets, reps, and intensity techniques. I like this exercise actually on the lower end, 6 to 10, 6 to 8. John had me do this as many as 12 to 15 in periods of time to kind of deload my shoulder and give me more shoulder health from the brutality I take for heavy incline dumbbell, heavy incline barbell. So he'd pull me back a little bit to reduce my loads but still get as much stimulation through those upper chest fibers. But if you ask me point blank, Chris, incline barbell rep range, 6 to 10, more like 6 to 8. And I'm thinking about being explosive. So what I want to think about is bar pop. And I'm going to get Chaz to stand up, and I want him to actually be able to hear what I'm going to do. I'm going to load a 45-pound plate on the bar, and I'm going to make it pop, and this is the sound that we are after in terms of generating explosive power. All right, tight lats, unrack the bar. Now, from here, I want to control the negative. Watch this speed that I control at versus the speed I press at. So here, fold down, fold down. Now, once I reach here, explode. You hear that bar pop? Let me do a few in a row so you can get the rhythm. Here, control. You see that cadence? Control down, not hyper slow down, control down. And then I'm trying to think about shoving that bar through the ceiling. Every time that bar collar is trying to pop against the bar, right? So it's, that's what I'm looking to generate. Now, for me personally, a lot of times John would have me press explosively. Once I lost a bar pop, then he literally said, walk away from the exercise, go to the next one. So for me, I know that I can usually bar pop 275 for roughly 8 to 10, depending upon my strength that day and the power I'm generating. Now, for some people, this is a hard technique, but I came from a sports background where explosion was a key. So you have to generate force. I know that I have enough fast twitch muscle fiber that I can generate that power, right? I've always been able to do it with squats, with deadlifts, with bench press. So if you don't have that, that's definitely something to work on. And you can do that with, say, bands or chains. But if you can generate that bar pop all the way up until you lose it and then walk away, that's another way you can do this exercise and get a lot of benefit out of it where it's not going to tax your nervous system, meaning, you know, those grinder reps we do where it's just like inching up, maybe force reps. That's not this premise. Explosive power is what we're after with this exercise. All right, so normally what I would say here is a great technique to use is top set and back off, right? Hard, heavy, 6 to 10 rep range, top set, rest 2 minutes, pull some plates. So for me, right, let's say I'm gonna work up to 315 for my top set. I did 8.5 reps and then 9th with Chaz lifting it off my chest. So I'm gonna rest 2 to 3 minutes somewhere in there until I get my breathing back and I feel like I have that power back. I'm gonna pull the weight down to 225, so I'll literally just strip a plate off, hit my back off. Now with my back off, what I wanna do is I wanna come down, pull to my chest, and when I press up, I'm actually gonna squeeze the bar, thinking about driving my hands together. Now, I can't actually do that, but I'm thinking about shoving my hands together because that's how the pec works, right? So not only does it work here, but it works here. So I wanna get power here, and think about contracting my chest. So with the back off, I'm coming down, dead stopping it, pressing up, squeeze my chest. And every one of those reps are gonna be that way. So I'm looking to still fail in the 8 to 12 rep range. And if I do that and demonstrate that much power and control over the load, by the time I get to 10 to 12, 225 is gonna crush me. It's gonna feel like 315 did when I'm pressing it explosively. So that's one way you could do this. The next way you could do it is doing what I would like to consider like more of a voluminous approach, right? So let's say, you know, we're using my weight examples of 315 for a top set. So instead of doing 315, I might do, say, 295. And what I want to do there is I'm going to do 5 or 6 sets of 5. So I'll get 30 total reps with 295 as opposed to just straight top end and back off at 315 and 225. So those are 2 different modalities. One is going to be getting progress and growth from volume because 30 total reps with 295 is going to be a ton of work for my chest versus a top set and a back off where I'm really thinking about pushing the most amount of load with 315 and then the back off really dominating the eccentric and concentric of each reps that I get with 225. So those are the two ways I like to do this. Now, another technique that you could add in here that's really cool is actually pausing on your chest. It's gonna feel like you pause a lot longer than you actually do in real life. So again, control down, pause, I go 1, 2, explode up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, just like that. Every rep is a full pause. And honestly, a lot of times, even if I press some of these explosively, if you'll notice the last rep I pause anyways. So let me show you what that might look like. So let's say I'm gonna do 8 reps. So here, 1, 7, and then I'll come down, I'll feel that weight, and I don't know why I've always done that, but I do that across the board in a lot of my exercises. So if you watch my normal workout videos, a lot of times that's what I'll do, is pause the last one, feel the stretch from my chest opening up, and then pressing that thing off my chest as fast as I can. So let's say you're so conditioned to taking the bar all the way down, and you're like, Chris, like, it's really hard for me to get in the habit of stopping it. Guess what? Elite FTS makes a shoulder saver pad. So all we're gonna do, pop this bad boy on the bar, just like that. Now, with this pad there, I can only come to that sweet spot that John was talking about and then press up. So with these, you just here, feel it. It's supposed to be in the perfect range, just like that. Things like $32 on Elite, it's not expensive. So if you have a hard time, or honestly you wanna remove the guesswork and kind of make this standardized, right? So let's say you're maybe one set you stop here, one set you stop here, one set you stop here. With this shoulder saver, when you stop, it's gonna stop on your chest. So if you like that sensation of something touching your chest, or you wanna standardize a lift, add that in. That is all things incline barbell. Now, if I didn't go over something or you have some questions, post that in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. As you know, I answer every comment. But until next time, like, share, and subscribe. Add this incline barbell to your pressing and your chest workouts, and I promise you will be bigger and better. Chris TV.